एक slide should be a qualification. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. I'm Professor Anil Kumar, UPES Dehradun, College of Management, Department of Power, Infrastructure, Urban Development, and Smart City. Today, I am going to discuss a smart city, the changing face of urban infrastructure, including India and world. Myself is a basically an engineering graduate, and I have done almost two dozen of different degree, including six master degree and postgraduate. There is a lot of professional degree and everything with us. So I am here a faculty in the power economics and your urban development and smart cities. So my field are the power, infrastructure, urban development and smart city. I am heading department of power, infrastructure, urban development and smart city. Today I am going to discuss regarding the smart city, the changing face of urban infrastructure. We have some other than department, there are six other faculties. One is Dr. Mohammad Yaqub. He is passed out from NIT Trichupalli, then IIT Delhi, PhD from IIT Delhi and UPS joint venture. Then Dr. Ashish Tripathi. He is a professor, associate professor, and he is looking after urban infrastructure. And he is passed out from Roorkee and PG in finance from Bombay University and PhD from University of Houston. Professor A.L. Rao is the assistant professor in selection grade. He is a law and management graduate, UGC NET qualified, as well as teacher in your humanity, HRM, and law related business papers. Professor C.P. Sharma, he is an industrial fellow. He is a BTech from one of the prominent colleges of UP, as well as MTech from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and was ex-director, Uttarakhand Power Corporation, as well as he was a chief engineer for a very long period. He used to take the utility part in the course. There is a Dr. P.K. Chaturvedi. He is the assistant professor in selection grade. He is a Allahabad University postgraduate in economics, as well as PhD from BHU, Banaras. Then the assistant professor, who is now officiating as lecturer, Abhishek Ghoshal. He is a BTech, PGDC in thermal power, MBA Infra, and pursuing PhD in the smart city. He is a man who is looking Indian smart city in the modern day. Before I start my presentation. Why we needed a smart city? Why we needed your urban development? How we are needed urban development? So I first of all I take you to with the basic economics. There is a three economical sector. One is known as primary. Primary means agriculture, mining, fishing, horticulture, where we are utilizing the product directly. Whatever the product, that is more or less directly utilized by the society. Then there is a secondary sector which has manufacturing, construction, etc., where we have some value addition in the primary product. Suppose there is a rice and rice is utilized in the form of something, then it is value added, and that value added make it a kind of industrial product, a kind of manufacture product, a kind of construction project. So that is a secondary sector. And third sector, which are services which known technically as tertiary sector. In tertiary sector, we have no physical product. There is no physical product, but we have a different type of services which one group of people provide to other group of people, like your hospitality, education, tourism, services. These are all there are three stage of economic development. The first is primary, second is secondary, and third is tertiary. As economic move from agriculture to manufacturing or secondary, primary to secondary, and then to tertiary, that is services. All developed economy in the world has at least 60% or more of their GDP coming from services. Even in India, we have more than 60% of total income coming from services. Suppose in India earn $2 trillion. Out of $2 trillion, almost $1.2 trillion used to come from services. Whereas the contribution of the agriculture or primary sector is 17-18%, and the contribution of the industrial sector or secondary sector is 20-22%. So even in India, most of the things are coming from service sector. Primary sector largely depend upon the rural economy. Most of the primary sector depend upon the rural economy. Whatever the rural economy, they directly utilize those products. So for the growth of primary sector, we require rural economy. For the growth of secondary sector, we mainly depend upon industrial, manufacturing hub or construction hub. These all are also a kind of semi-urban kind of situation required. Only these industries can grow in a semi-rural or semi-urban, urban-rural combined situation. Most of the case we will find once the industry just started, that was a semi-urban area, but generally after some times it become an urban area. Whereas a tertiary and urban sector completely depend upon urban development and economy. If there is a no urban development, we could not have a services, we could not have a tertiary business. So for secondary business, we required partially urbanization. For primary education, mainly we required the rural development, but for tertiary, we required almost all development through the urban development, urbanization. Urbanization is directly linked to the tertiary services. Whereas secondary it is 50-50. In primary it is very negligible. So naturally if the service sector grow rapidly, urbanization used to take place. When a country is moving from agriculture to industrial, then small town, kasbah used to grow. When after that it moves to the your secondary sector to tertiary sector, services and all these, a lot of you will find a lot of urbanization will occur. If we planned urbanization, then it is a planned urbanization. If we could not plan urbanization, there is a unstructured, unplanned urbanization. A lot of juggi jhopdi will come. A town will grow vertical, but road will be very narrow. So every problem will be occurred if we will not planning urbanization properly. Nobody can stop the urbanization. Nobody can stop because service sector is growing fast. Even in India, it is only 60%. In developed country like USA, it is 95%. So we can say in future, our service sector will be also grow, and for with the growth of service sector you will always find there is a growth in urbanization. If government, if society, if everyone planned it, it is a planned urbanization. If you are not planning, if you are not doing proper check and balance, proper things you are not planning, then it will be unplanned urbanization with juggi, jhopdi, lane road, everything. Most of the India till now, this is unplanned urbanization. Although for past few years, past 5 to 10 years, now the central government at least started thinking of the planned urbanization. They are thinking there should be planned urbanization, and for planned urbanization, they have a lot of different activities, different missions, different schemes has come. One of the scheme is your smart city mission. In a smart city mission, we are taking 100 towns all over India, converting it as a smart city. Along with this smart city, there are 500 towns that call other Amrut scheme, where partially urbanization, sanitary and all these activities will take it. So currently there is 600 town in India is going through a smart city or Amrit schemes, and each and every other town also covered on so many different schemes. So what is my say? What is I'm saying? What is I'm telling? That services is now the major component of Indian economy. Since services is a major component, So nobody can stop urbanization, and for proper services, for proper development of India, we need planned or structured urbanization, and for a structured urbanization, we required a structured program which can take care of urbanization and all this. This is what I have said, the growth of Indian economy, and this data says that now Indian economy has crossed 2 trillion mark, and a lot of part are coming from services. There is a clear-cut relationship between urbanization and services. The urbanization is used to be happen, service sector growth used to be happen. Suppose today I am telling the service sector is more than 60% and 33% population of India is in your urban area. The service sector in 2004 was round about 50% or 52% actually. Then also your 29% population is urbanized. So what it means ki as service sector grow, the urbanization used to increase. So naturally, we are going for a large scale urbanization because we are planning in next 20 years, next 30 years, the 60% of Indian population will be living in urban area. So now what is the urbanization condition currently? By 2047, we are almost going to double it. Now we are 33% urban. So I hope by 2050 it will be 66%. That is two-thirds of the population will be in the town area and only one-third population in the rural area. Reduced, why we are going for a urbanization or service sector? Because we want to reduce population on agriculture. Suppose I am just giving an example, about 20% or 18% are coming from agriculture, and more than 60%, 62% population depend upon agriculture. So average is there 0.8 of the GDP divided by 0.62 of the population. So whereas in the service sector we have only 15% population in service sector, or 16% population depend on the service sector. What it means that 0.62 divided by 0.18 or 16, which means at least in 9 times more prosperity in the urban area than the rural area. So normally we want to shift a large chunk of agriculture based population to the industrial based or service based. You will find a lot of government schemes are coming in these days to make the rural agricultural economy more or less in the industrial format. You will find a lot of things like rural electrification, like your Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. All these are for converting village into a hub of industrial growth. This has been done in China successfully from 1995 to 2005. In 10 years, China urban population from 30% to become 50%. Same thing India want to do next 15-20 years. So this is why we required a proper and a structured mechanism for urbanization. So why we need urbanization? It is clear, since this sector based upon the urban area, rapid economic growth is normally associated with the urban development. What are the emerging India ambition? To transfer urban geography. Suppose more or more people coming to urban area, so naturally we required a better geography management for the urban area. The cities are expanding, even expanding horizontally and vertically both. So we required a good urban planning. So again, we required a sustainable development, because this is not a one-time phenomena. People are coming from village to town. They are going to stay in town, and again further more and more people are coming because of our change of economy from agriculture to industries to services. So we have also take care of not current planning. We have to also take care of sustainable planning. How we can do in future to provide urban amenities to rural areas. Even the rural area, we have to provide urban like facilities. So that is a government of India start a scheme rural-urban combination. Because a lot of rural area is supporting urban growth and development, and those areas required to see like as a part and parcel of urban areas, and urban development scheme like things has come for that area. This is why Government of India has started a rural-urban scheme, develop a social infrastructure to create a pool of world-class service sector industries to reduce losses and attending highest efficiency in utility sector to create world-class physical infrastructure. Nobody can stop organization as our economy is growing towards services. So what we can do? We can do it a plan. It is very good. Otherwise, we bound to do it an unplanned manner. We could not stop urbanization. This is why we required people who can work in the urban horizon, who can work in the urban development, who can work in urban areas. What are the 5 reasons? I am taking the lot of reasons, but I want to select 5 reasons. What are the 5 major reasons because of which anyone can join urban infrastructure and a smart city? Please mind, this program is open not only to civil engineers but each and every kind of graduate. Although civil engineers used to prefer it, but it is not restricted to civil engineer. It is open to each and every kind of graduate who has at least 50% marks in 10th, 12th and graduation. So what are the regions which attract people to join urban infrastructure? This is a unique program which prepare with a practical knowledge, not a theoretical knowledge only, not a conceptual knowledge. It is a practical knowledge regarding urban planning, urban development, urban construction, or urban operation and management, including financing project, regulation and governance, project management, where we have a special care taken for project management tools like Primavera, MS Project and all it, IoT, marketing of services. What I am telling, this is an integrated program for urban infrastructure development. There is a lot of program in the country, but most of the program used to take only one area. Suppose there is a M plan. M plan only used to take the planning area. There is a governance MBA, MBA in governance, urban governance, that used to take only urban governance. Our plan has all the gamut of the urban infrastructure. That is, first is your planning, then development, construction, and then operation and management. There are 3 phases: planning, then construct, then you use in a proper way. All 3 phases are there with their regulation and financing. These 5 areas are the major area, and 3 are the, one is your project management, second is IT application, and third is marketing. These are the secondary important areas. So all 8 areas is covered under this MBA infrastructure program. I have not seen any program in India having all these 8 areas in a program course, where 5 is taken as a seriously and 3 as a secondary feature. Faculty team comprise rightly professional, rich corporate experience and robust academic credential, which you can see the slides given initially. The wholesome curriculum, carefully developed blend of general business and a specialized course to give the flexibility to a student for choosing their career. We have more than 50% course which include general management and approx 40% course which is especially designed for urban development. This is a very good mixture, so that you can, with MBA, you can also take care of, special care of urban infrastructure. This MBA program, Urban Infrastructure Smart City, is designed to impart holistic leadership, not the leadership in only one area. Holistic leadership, a strategy and decision making skill for aspiring power managers, infrastructure managers, who you are ready to grab the power in future. This is unique program which has a very good professional value. MBA is well accepted by corporate. Whatever MBA we used to run, Our students in MBA with infrastructure has gone to the Ernest and Young, ILFS, Synergy Global, Infosys, Wipro, Grant Thornton, and even few posts in government of Chhattisgarh and Odisha, if in urban sale, are filled by our students. Market and all these Jindal, HLL, Hill International, these are Matt Mokdal, these are the infrastructure advisory companies. So they have special care that students should also prepared for the market. Whatever our course design, we always see in the way. Suppose market demand is X and the student skill is Y. So we want to give X minus Y in the classes. That is why our student is not only employable, they are deployable. A lot of time we find after 1 and 2 months and even 1 week of training, they directly use to place for the job. So this is a very good area where our student can go and do all these things. This is a unique three-way interaction, interface with industrial tour, internship, placement. There is a lot of students got solid foundation with the corporate, industrial and local official interaction. So the students become a perfect industries deployable, not only employable. These are the programs. These students fit best in urban infra for the work of advisory and consultancy, urban and transport planning, development, operation and management activities in the urban, for the urban infrastructure, economical and financial services, project and construction management, especially for a smart city project going on 100 town where a lot of our students are working directly or indirectly. Also Amrit is going in your more than 500 town. Then again governance and regulation issues where they used to play a major role, particular after RERA, Realty Bill. The scope of governance and regulation has much increased. Key skills of the student which they use to learn here: financial modeling, DPR, detailed project report, project management tools like MS Project, Primavera, etc., operation and management skills, regulation and governance, investment analysis, contract management, research, advisory, consultancy, along with the your planning, development, operation, management of the urban infrastructure. Other industries where they also consider our students, those are the business development, in any kind of business development. It might be business development for any kind of business, market research, contract administration, cost estimation and survey. One thing I point out, for the contract administration, we also see national and lot of international, FUDIC and all these examples for contract administration. Because in my opinion, a large part of MBA, it depend upon the how you are going to take the contracts, how are going to administrate the contract, how are going to formulate a contract, how are going to implement the contract, how are going to see. Because a lot of contract in India and in the world, third world, particular developing world, these are the unsatisfiable contract. That is the contract which very difficult to implement in future. So this is why contract management used to be a major part here. Companies which are visiting the companies, almost all companies which are involved in infrastructure, particular urban infrastructure, they are coming here either for placement or for internship, and some company which are taking lateral after 1 and 2 year of the job, and in that private sector a lot of government companies are also taking these students. These are the company RCIL, Sistra, KPMG, ILFS, Institute of UIT, Grant Thornton, IDFC, DMRC, WRI. There are a lot of companies, Ray, McMonal, L&T, E&Y. There are a lot of, almost all companies. I have never seen that any company which is rejecting our students for sake that they have passed out MBA urban development or urban infrastructure or infrastructure from UPES. So there is a huge scope, and this scope is only a scope now. This is going to become at least 5 times more when this batch passed after 2 years. Because a lot of things are going to be happen in urban infrastructure sector, and we are taking care of urban infrastructure as well as a special care of a smart city 100 smart city as well as 500 amrut city. So 600 town in India, we required a lot of professionals, some directly working for municipal corporation or government, and some indirectly working with the different consultant. One consultant for water, one consultant for your sewerage, one consultant maybe for your road, one consultant maybe for electricity. So a lot of people are working with different consultant, and so there is a lot of scope. What is the flagship program of Government of India, which I want to mention few, not all. First, a smart city. We have already told there is a 100 smart city mission, 100 smart cities on the card at different level. Next is your Amrut. Amrut is 500 towns are going for Amrut. Then it is your Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Now we are going for 2 crores, 2 crores housing, 200 crores housing for Indian people, 200 crore, 2 crore, 20 crores house for Indian people, and that is going to affect all the gamut. Skill India, this also required a lot of Hriday. Hriday is for the heritage town. Which town? Which are old town like Jaipur, like your Agra, where we required to do some tourism and all these kind of. There is a digital India. There is a lot of other program going on. So you should be Swachh Bharat is one of the major program which is going on. National Urban Livelihood Mission. So at least I have given only 8 program, but in actual there is a 20 different type of program is going on where there is a large number of scope for our urban development people to get placement. It may be directly with the organization or indirectly consultant who are working. Recently, one of our students got placement in your Raipur for the arranging alternative finance, which finance is not coming from government or for public, for the Raipur municipality, and he's got this recruitment through E and Y, because E and Y is their consultant, and for E and Y he is working. So a lot of scopes which are not confined to. I think each and every town has a large number of requirement, and we have not have any capacity to fulfill those requirements. We are just trying to have some professional prepared for those jobs, although the total number of requirement is very large, and it is beyond our capacity, beyond our thinking that all in infrastructure needed people we can provide from our organization. I am coming to the mission, a smart city mission. This is the smart city mission. What is the why we are going for a smart city? There is a 6 different part, but going for 6 different part, I will start. What is the basics of Indian smart city? The Indian smart city, we are basic point, 3 fundamental point, which we must remember why we are going for a smart city. First, the smart city should be people oriented. That is, the need of people should be assessed. Suppose I am going for a Dehradun as a smart city. First of all, I see what is the need of Dehradun people, not the need for only today or tomorrow purpose, for a long-term purpose. These all smart cities are started, the smart city movement started all over the world, where we always start thinking how this economy will grow, what is the development. So first point is always start with the people's need. This is whole the planning process is not the top down. Upar se plan from above and then come to lower. That is not the case. Most of the plan by people and then come to the people. It is the bottom up approach for planning. So the first point we should remember, it should be people oriented. Public, what public lies that should be provided. Second, it should be regarding the basic infrastructure. The infrastructure which is basic. Suppose we should not think about the AC. We should not think about the special facilities. We always think what are the basic infrastructure needed for that town or that areas. So it is all about the basic infrastructure, not regarding the special or VIP infrastructure. It is regarding the common public basic infrastructure, best development based upon the people opinion. And third and most important point, there should be it should be economical link, and the economic development is such a way it has been linked that it should be sustained. Suppose I am going to create something which after some time it should be run in a successful manner, so that it will be create business for a longer time, not it is going for one time. So whatever things we are going to have, there is three basic criteria. One, it should be people oriented. Second, it should be basic infrastructure, and third, it should be economical beneficial on sustainable basis, not for a short time basis. So among that, there is a six parameters that we have included in your smart city mission. First, it is a smart energy and environment. Second, a smart building and homes. Third, it is a smart infrastructure. Then sustainability. Then a smart citizen. And then a smart governance. These are the points where I have written all the points which are there. Each and every has 5 to 10 points. So on basis of that, the smart city used to be developed in India. There is a physically four pillar of a smart city, a sustainability. One is a physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure means which can be physical things like housing, power supply, energy system, water supply. All these are the physical. Sanitation, solid waste management, cyber. These are the physical. Air, roads, rail, metro. These are the physical infrastructure. Then the social infrastructure like education, development center, healthcare, medical, entertainment, recreation. These are golf course, sports ground. All these are the social infrastructure. Then there should be institutional infrastructure. How this can be sustained. There should not be something I plan from Delhi and implement in Dehradun. There should be self institution which can plan it, like environment sustainability, speedy service deliver, ICT, your IT, communication, and technology based services delivery, integration among multiple systems, people participation feedback. So there should be institutional element, activities that relate to governance, planning, and management of the city through citizen centric, efficient, and accountable, transparent approach. These are the institutional framework. And then a strong economic drive. In my opinion, personally, I feel if there is a no sustainable economic drive, then the town is not going to stand. If we have listened a lot of old town which are not increase. Suppose take the case of Rome. Once Rome is the first town in the world which are real manner a town, manner a capital town. But there is a no economical linkage in the Rome. This is why Rome has not developed so much that as a Chinese town like Shenzhen, which are just conceptualized in early 80s or early late 80s, has developed and become one of the top town in the world. So each and every town development must be center in the center of strong economic drivers, components that are top of potential of generating economic activities, attract investment, create employment. These are the activities which should be hub of the all these things. Policy intervention by government, I have already told, sustainable urban transport, the smart city, Amrit, Pradhan Mantri Jan Awas Yojana. These are Hirday, Amrut. These are the things which I have already told. Importance, real estate and construction is also going to a major role playing, and where I think civil engineer has some advantage in one sector, that is the importance of real estate and construction. But in all other field, I think all graduate have the same scope. Expected, we have I am showing how what is there, how road is increasing, how irrigation is increasing, how infrastructure, how railway. So there is a, you will find A lot of things are increasing very fast. And here I want to quantify the opportunity. In a smart city, what is expected in investment, what is the total employment expected, and what is the scope of our students. Suppose, for example, in a smart city, we have total 73,000 employment will become. And out of 73,000, 5,000 will be officer level. And among those, at least 100 level, 100 students should be have real urban development people like MBA in urban infra and smart city. Same way in Amrit we have 100, even Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, real estate 500. Real estate is very important because RERA has come. How the power sector developed after Electricity Act 2003. Similar way after RERA, this realty sector is going to develop. So a lot of people need it. Metro rail, more than 30 metro rail project has been started different part of the country. So we required at least 150 people with this background for all these projects. There is the infra framework for digital. Hirday, there is urban transportation, urban solar and waste. All these include, I think, at least we require more than thousand urban infrastructure people in per year for these project. It might not be all post goes to MBA infra and the smart city people, but around about 1,000 people are needed for this. Investment landslide. Urban transformation offers several investment opportunity to prime investor. Almost $1 trillion expected to come in this sector. So these are the area, these are the schemes. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Smart City, Amrit, Hirday, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, Real Estate Act, RERA, GST, REVIT, NVIT, relaxation in FDI and ECB, ease of doing business. All these are going to provide a good opportunity for you people. In short, I have written some schemes. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, it is a scheme where a lot of school become and 20 million people, that is 2 crore people in urban area is going to get house by 2022. Overall, in India, we are planning for 11 million, 11 crores housing units. Housing units, 11 crore housing units for weaker section, for other section, housing for all. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, housing for all. These are combining and giving a large scope for people like who is going to join this scheme. Pillars of Pradhan Mantri Yojana, slum development, affordable housing in partnership, subsidiary benefit, housing credit. A lot of people could not buy housing because they are not getting credit in time. So, capital investment 26%, city development, and 74% on area based development. These are the investment, and again the breakup of proposed fund in percentage we have given what how the fund of a smart cities are coming, where from where they are getting fund. Yellow is your smart city mission grant, then convergence. What is the convergence? There is a 20 different program are going on. Suppose for urban a scheme in power distribution, in power supply, we can integrate IPDS, integrated power distribution scheme, into that. For the water supply, we can increase, we can integrate the Swachh Bharat mission for sewerage and all. So, lot of a scheme which are already going, and that scheme can be integrated with a smart city scheme, so that and private investment and all other things are coming. So these are the area. Amrit, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. This is a mission where we have a special water supply, sewerage, urban transportation to every household. So it has taken three major work. One is your water supply, other is your sewerage, and third is urban transportation. So these are going in 500 city. Already this program is going on in 500 town at different part of. There is a few of our students has got placed in their scheme in different form. Work under Amrit so far, we have already discussed Amrit. You should see Heritage Hirday. Hriday is the scheme where we are going to develop the area like Kedarnath, Mathura, Varanasi, Gaya, your Warangal, Amravati, all these area in the modern town. These are the ancient area, heritage city, which we have to develop for keeping our things ready and for pilgrimage purpose, for your purpose of your all these regulatory framework and policy initiative. A lot of GST is coming. RERA has already passed by 13 states. Out of total 13 states has already passed a RERA, and RERA has implemented from 1st May this year. So it is going to have a lot of scope. Real Sector Regulatory and Development Act, RERA, I am talking about. This is going to change the face of Indian urban sector. What other act like Electricity Act 2003 has done for power sector. I hope RERA 2016 is going to do for the urban development. Impact of housing development, what are the areas on the human resource requirement. We required a lot of HR people, sales and CRM people, project people, finance people, licensing people, people for design, people for legal, for procurement, compliance, etc. So these are requirement of RERA. We want to produce a MBA graduate with this qualification who can take care of each and every aspect to some extent. Metro Rail and BRTS is again coming with the very high level way. A lot of town are going for this. A lot of projects are going in India on this base. Urban infrastructure and smart city management is how different from other. We have three type of the course: general management, domain specific, and domain tailor. So you can see all the course which are not available in other program. We have a lot of course focus course, domain oriented course, which you can read it in the slides given, so that you can see we have 60% course on general courses, and there is a 40% course especially for the domain part, and this is why our students are much demanded. Other especially infrastructure and urban development. UK Pawar, Umakant Pawar, the Principal Secretary, Government of Uttarakhand, Jugran Post is a GIZ, is German professor who is working as a senior advisor with GIZ. V. Sanmugam, he is the Vice Chairman, Masuri Dela Road Development Authority, MDDA. Rakesh Ranjan, ex-advisor of Planning Commission for Infrastructure Related Matters. Vinayak Chatterjee, CEO and founder of Feedback Venture. And there is a lot of people who can find from this list. They have visited. The Basir Ahmad Siraji, he is a vice president with the AP and ILFS joint venture. He is currently working on 6 smart city projects in Andhra Pradesh, and a lot of our students have joined there and also done their internship with him. He is one of the Dayan. Again, Alok Basan is the advisor for Namami Ganga project. Was expert earlier with the Smart City project Varanasi, the Smart City project, your Bhubaneswar. So all these people are intelligent. One of our faculty, Vijay Pal Singh Sekawa, which is currently the infrastructure advisor with the Australian Embassy, is looking after all the infrastructure projects, including public-private partnership in India from the Australian government point of view. He is initially full-time faculty here. Now he is a regular visitor to the campus. Thank you. So I think I have explained what, how a smart city has three basic components, and that is why a smart city. First, it should be people oriented. Public should decide what should be component of a smart city. Second, we should think what are the basic infrastructure that should be developed through a smart city. And third, it should be focus is always economical growth, sustainable growth. So I invite all graduates, either you are graduate in science, arts, physics, chemistry, biology, hotel science, everyone to come and join this course. This course is open to everyone. No doubt, this used to be always first choice of all civil engineering graduates, but there is no restriction because we require three kind of viability: economical viability, financial viability, or you can say commercial viability is one kind. other is regulatory viability or law viability or your sustainability. These are the second kind of viability. And third is technical viability. For each and every project we require three kind of viability. That is technical viability, socio-commercial viabilities and regulatory viability. And in our course only 10% is technical part, 90% is mainly related to these areas, particular regulatory viability, social viability and financial viability. So any graduate can do it, and I invite you come here. You are not coming for a job purpose. This is going to change your career. One thing I guarantee, if you want to change your career from B grade or C grade or D grade to A grade in 5 years, please come and join this course. Here we will provide the market requirement is X, your knowledge is Y, so X minus Y will provide in the class and try to provide. But it all depend upon you how much you are required. So you will find this is a very good platform to join MBA, Urban Infra and Smart City at UPES. This is the unique course. First time in India you can find a course with so many facets of urban areas in one course. This is the time to join this course, and this is time to I invite you. Any personal query you can call me anytime. Immediately you can send your email so that we can reply. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am waiting for your query. Please email your query to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any question, please type and email to us so that we are ready to reply whatever your queries. Even you should not think that should be even a silly question, we are ready to apply. Even the complex question we are ready to apply, because this is course designed by us especially for the young people who want to change their career. Job is a byproduct. We, if your knowledge is high, job will be automatically come to you. So don't hesitate. Please ask your question. We are ready to reply whatever your queries. Thank you. Anil.